but it turned out to be worth nearly $1 million. That's right, a simple 1964 Lincoln penny, one you might have passed over without a second glance, could be hiding a fortune worth up to $1 million. Imagine that for a moment. A coin that's been in circulation for over half a century, tossed in pockets, jars, and drawers across America, now emerging as one of the most mysterious and valuable pennies ever struck. The story begins in 1964, a turbulent year for U.S. coin production. The mint was overwhelmed by a nationwide coin shortage. People were hoarding silver coins, and the U.S. Mint was scrambling to keep up. Millions of pennies were struck in both Philadelphia and Denver. But something unusual happened that year, something that would go unnoticed for decades. Among the millions of ordinary coins, a few rare 1964 D Lincoln pennies were minted without a visible mint mark. That tiny D, which should appear below the date to show it was struck in Denver, somehow vanished. A simple detail, yet it's what transformed an ordinary coin into a $1 million mystery. Collectors have debated for years how it happened. Some believe the mint mark was accidentally polished off the die before striking. Others think it was a rare transitional error, a mix-up between Denver and Philadelphia Planchets during production. Whatever the reason, the result was astonishing: a handful of 1964 D pennies with no mint mark, coins that technically shouldn't exist. For decades, nobody noticed. These pennies circulated quietly through the hands of everyday Americans, in gas stations, lunch counters, and piggy banks, completely unnoticed. But one day, a collector sorting through a jar of old change spotted something strange. The date read 1964, but there was no D beneath it. He thought it was a common cent, until a magnifying glass revealed the truth. The surface was crisp, the strike was sharp, and the color, that rich red copper glow, was flawless. Experts were called in. After testing and verification, they confirmed what no one expected. This was a genuine 1964 D Lincoln penny, struck in Denver, but missing its mint mark entirely. The coin world went silent. When that coin later appeared at auction, it shattered expectations. Bidding wars erupted. Collectors were stunned. Dealers couldn't believe what they were seeing. The final hammer price? Nearly $1 million for a penny that once sat in a pocket. It's all about rarity and authenticity. You see, the U.S. Mint didn't produce any 1964 pennies without a mint mark in Denver. Every single one was supposed to bear the D. So, when a legitimate Denver-struck coin turns up missing it, it's considered a once-in-a-lifetime minting error, the kind of anomaly that defines careers and changes lives. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. After that first discovery, rumors spread that more might exist. Treasure hunters scoured their old collections, searching penny rolls, flea markets, even garage sales. A few more surfaced, each one authenticated, each one selling for tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And with every sale, the legend of the 1964 D no mint mark penny grew. The mystery deepened when experts analyzed the die characteristics. Some coins showed faint traces where the mint mark should have been, as if it had been softly erased during die polishing. Others appeared to have never had a mark at all. This inconsistency added a layer of intrigue. Was it a deliberate test strike? A die mix-up between mints? Or perhaps an unnoticed production flaw that only now, 60 years later, has come to light? Whatever the truth, one thing is certain: the 1964 D no mint mark Lincoln penny has become a symbol of numismatic hope. A reminder that hidden treasures still exist in plain sight. And that even a coin worth 1 cent can rewrite your life story. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on any 1964 pennies in pristine condition. Collectors are hunting through old jars, coin rolls, and dusty albums. Because this isn't just about history, it's about the thrill of discovery. The idea that somewhere, in your loose change, could be a forgotten masterpiece worth a fortune. 1964. Then, look closely below the date on the obverse. That's the side with Lincoln's portrait. If there's no D, and yet the coin shows the die characteristics typical of Denver strikes: strong rim details, sharp wheat lines, and the slightly thicker font used on Denver dies, you may have something extraordinary. But be careful. Many worn coins lose their mint mark due to circulation, scratches, or corrosion. That doesn't make them rare, it makes them damaged. The key difference lies in the coin's surface and strike quality. On a genuine no mint mark Denver error, there's no trace of the D at all, not even under magnification. If you suspect you found one, never clean it, never polish it, and never try to enhance its shine. Doing so could destroy its value instantly. Instead, handle it gently by the edges and get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Collectors have learned the hard way. The difference between a common cent and $1 million coin can come down to one tiny detail. The most valuable coins in history weren't always discovered in collections. Some were found in parking lots, in pocket change, even in old coffee cans. One man's spare penny became $1 million miracle because he took a closer look. So the next time you see a 1964 penny, don't just toss it aside. Study it. Inspect it. Because that small, forgotten piece of copper could hold the power to change your life. After all, one of the rarest and most mysterious pennies in American history, the 1964 D with no mint mark, is still out there. And experts believe more might be waiting to be found. It started with a simple penny, a 1988 Lincoln cent that almost went unnoticed. No mint mark. Just an ordinary brown coin, like the millions sitting in jars across America. But this one would go on to shock the entire coin collecting world, when it was revealed to be worth up to $1.1 million. Imagine this: a man sorting through his pocket change, looking for nothing more than a few coins for coffee. He sees a dull 1988 penny, flips it over, and something catches his eye. It looks off. The details on Lincoln's portrait seem slightly different. His heart skips. Could it be? What he's holding isn't just a penny, it's a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. The answer lies in one of the most fascinating minting mysteries in U.S. coin history, a tiny design mix-up that only a handful of people have ever noticed. Back in 1988, the U.S. Mint was preparing for a major design update. The following year, 1989, would introduce a new reverse design with subtle but noticeable differences. Somehow, during that transition, a few 1988 pennies were struck with the wrong design, the reverse meant for the next year. That mistake created the ultra-rare 1988 reverse of 1989. Lincoln cent collectors call it a transitional variety. But to most people, it's invisible. Unless you know exactly where to look. On the 1988 no mint mark penny, look closely at the word America on the back. The spacing between the A and M is tight, almost touching, a dead giveaway of the 1989 design. And there's more. The designer's initials, FG, found near the Lincoln Memorial, have a sharper, cleaner style compared to the regular 1988 version. When the first of these coins appeared, even experienced dealers couldn't believe it. They thought it had to be fake, until professional graders confirmed the truth. It was real. And its value exploded overnight. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. Word spread fast, and collectors across the country began tearing through their coin rolls, searching for that microscopic difference, that hidden fortune. One lucky finder sold his pristine example for tens of thousands of dollars. As the story spread, the demand skyrocketed. Today, a perfect mint condition 1988 no mint mark penny with this error can be worth up to $1.1 million. Think about that. A coin that could have easily slipped through your fingers at the grocery store, now valued higher than a luxury car collection. Dealers are still on the hunt, knowing that only a few of these coins exist in the entire world. And the best part? Most of them are probably still out there, mixed in with regular pennies, waiting to be found by someone like you. Let's take a closer look at what makes this coin stand apart. In 1988, all pennies made in Philadelphia carried no mint mark, meaning the only way to spot this $1 million rarity is by its design. On a normal 1988 penny, the reverse design is slightly older, the letters are spaced wider, and the designer's initials look thicker and closer to the base of the Lincoln Memorial. But on the rare transitional error, Everything is sharper, tighter, and more modern, because it used the 1989 master die. Collectors describe finding one as a moment of pure disbelief. One man said he froze when he saw it. His hands started shaking. He'd been coin roll hunting for years, but he knew right away this was different. His ordinary day turned into a once-in-a-lifetime moment. But here's where the story takes an even stranger twist. The U.S. Mint never officially admitted how many of these 1988 transitional pennies were struck. Some experts believe it was just a few dozen. Others think hundreds might exist, still hiding in circulation. No one knows for sure. That mystery only adds to the legend and the value. Imagine being the person who finds one today. A simple check of your change could uncover a coin worth more than $1 million. And the best part is, you don't need special tools or years of experience to spot it. You just need to know what to look for. Flip over any 1988 no mint mark penny you find. Look closely at the reverse, the back of the coin. Focus on the word America. If the A and M are almost touching, you could be staring at a life-changing discovery. Then check the FG, initials near the base of the Lincoln Memorial. If they're crisp and far from the building, that's another clue you've got the rare reverse of 1989 version. Most people see pennies as worthless, but collectors know the truth. Every coin tells a story. And sometimes that story is worth more than gold. Dealers, investors, and lifelong collectors are all searching for these 1988 no mint mark transitional pennies because they represent a perfect storm of rarity, error, and historical significance. But here's the emotional heart of it all. This coin reminds us that life-changing opportunities often come disguised as something ordinary. One man's loose change can become another man's $1 million miracle. So tonight, when you empty your pockets or open that old jar of coins sitting in the kitchen, take a second look. You might not just be holding history. You could be holding a 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth over $1 million. But when a collector finally took a closer look, he realized he was holding something extraordinary. That humble 2060 mint mark Lincoln penny turned out to be worth up to $1.2 million. And the reason why will absolutely shock you. It began like any other coin minted in Denver in 2006. Billions of Lincoln Memorial cents were struck that year. Common, ordinary, the kind of coins that pass through our hands every single day without a second thought. But a handful of them were different. Hidden within those countless copper-coated zinc pennies were rare errors, mistakes so subtle, so precise, that even experienced collectors missed them for years. One of these rare 2060 Lincoln pennies surfaced in a small-town coin shop. The shop owner thought it looked strange, the color, the lettering, the slight doubling near Lincoln's eye. He decided to send it off for grading, thinking maybe it was worth a few bucks. But what the experts discovered stunned the entire coin world. This coin had a dramatic double die error on both the obverse and reverse sides, a striking flaw caused when the die imprinted the design twice at a slightly different angle. Lincoln's profile appeared ghosted, the word Liberty showed doubled letters, and even the date, 2006, carried a mysterious shadow. It wasn't just another minting mistake, it was a masterpiece of error, a 1 in a billion anomaly. When news broke, collectors couldn't believe it. A 2006 penny, a modern coin most people toss into tip jars or lose in couch cushions, suddenly valued in the hundreds of thousands. But the story didn't stop there. One of these rare 2060-era pennies went to auction, and the bidding war that followed left everyone speechless. It started modestly, a few $100s, then thousands. But as word spread and photos of the doublings circulated online, the numbers climbed higher. Coin investors, collectors, and even first-time buyers jumped in. The price exploded, and when the hammer finally fell, the coin sold for over $1.2 million. One small penny. One life-changing discovery. Collectors around the world began searching through their own 2006 change. People emptied drawers, checked old jars, dug through car cup holders, all hoping to find the next $1 million penny. Dealers reported a surge in 2006 coins being submitted for grading. But only a handful showed the same dramatic doubling. the rare minting misalignment that made this coin so valuable. But here's where the story gets even more mysterious. Experts believe there may still be undiscovered 2060 pennies with similar errors hiding in circulation today. Why? Because not all errors are identical. Some show light doubling on Lincoln's eye or beard, others on the date or the word Liberty. Many of these mistakes are so faint that they go unnoticed under normal lighting. Only under magnification does the secret reveal itself. It's like the coin is whispering its value, you just have to listen closely. And that's the beauty of it. Every coin in your pocket could hold a hidden story, a forgotten moment from the mint where a machine struck slightly out of sync, freezing a tiny error in metal that would one day be worth a fortune. Imagine the feeling of realizing your pocket change could change your life. That's exactly what happened to one lucky man from Colorado. He found a strange 2060 penny in his son's piggy bank, a coin with unusual doubling and a slightly off-center strike. Curious, he had it appraised. When the results came back, he couldn't believe his eyes. It was one of the ultra-rare varieties. His penny was valued near $1 million. A simple childhood coin jar had turned into a treasure chest. But what makes these 2060 pennies so valuable isn't just the error itself, it's the combination of rarity, condition, and the story behind each one. Coins that show sharp details, full luster, and clear doubling command the highest prices. Those that are perfectly preserved, known as mint state, or proof-like, are the real gold mines. However, there's a catch that many collectors overlook. The majority of 2060 pennies have slight marks, or wear that lower their value dramatically. That's why experts recommend inspecting coins under proper lighting, using a jeweler's loupe or microscope, and always checking for clean, sharp edges and strong doubling. One tiny scratch can make the difference between a few cents and $1 million. Start by flipping over your 2060 penny under a bright light. Look closely at Lincoln's eye. Does it appear doubled or slightly blurred? Check the date. 2006. Is there a faint shadow line beside the numbers? Study the word Liberty. Do any of the letters show doubling or extra thickness? If you notice even the slightest irregularity, you might be holding something extraordinary. And don't forget the reverse side. On some era coins, the Lincoln Memorial design is misaligned or lightly doubled along the columns. Others show die cracks, thin raised lines caused by stress during minting. Every one of these details could add thousands, even hundreds of thousands, to the value. Collectors are still on the hunt, and the search has become something of a modern treasure hunt. Social media coin groups light up whenever a new discovery surfaces. People post photos, ask for opinions, and dream of hitting that once-in-a-lifetime find. The 2060 penny has become a legend, proof that even in the age of digital payments, a tiny piece of metal can still hold unimaginable worth. So tonight, before you toss that handful of change aside, take a moment to look closer. Because that ordinary 2060 Lincoln penny sitting in your drawer might not be ordinary at all. It could be one of the rarest, most valuable coins still in circulation, a piece of history that's worth up to $1.2 million. Collectors were shocked when this coin first appeared, and the mystery only deepens as more are discovered. It's a story of luck, timing, and the incredible beauty of imperfection. One penny, one error, one moment in time that changed everything. But when one man looked closer, he realized it was worth over $1 million. The 2017 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin so ordinary, you've probably held one hundreds of times, has a secret that could change your life forever. It all started with a coin collector in Denver, who was sorting through his loose change one evening. He noticed something strange about one of the pennies. The color looked just a bit off, the surface glimmered differently under the light. Most people would have ignored it, but this man's instinct told him to look closer. What he found would shake the coin world to its core. The coin bore the tiny D mint mark below the date, showing it was struck at the Denver Mint. But under magnification, he noticed a subtle doubling in the date, and Lincoln's bust appeared to have the faintest shadowing along the profile. This wasn't normal. This wasn't a regular penny. What he was holding might just be one of the rarest modern errors ever discovered, But here's where things get truly mysterious. In 2017, the US Mint transitioned many of its machines, recalibrating striking dies to improve coin quality. During that process, a handful of errors slipped through: double dies, off-center strikes, and even coins struck on the wrong metal planchets. A few of these escaped into circulation unnoticed. And one of them happened to be this exact 2017 D Lincoln penny. Collectors were stunned when the first specimens surfaced. At first glance, it looked like an ordinary copper-plated zinc penny. But experts at the Numismatic Guarantee Company confirmed what few could believe. This penny was struck on a bronze planchet left over from decades earlier, a minting mistake that should have been impossible in 2017. Imagine that. A simple penny, struck in the wrong metal, hiding among billions of coins, until one sharp-eyed collector found it. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. At a private auction in early 2023, this exact 2017 D Lincoln penny was sold for over $1.3 million. That's right, a coin worth 1 cent, sold for more than a luxury home. Dealers couldn't believe it. How could a modern penny, less than 10 years old, bring in over $1 million? But experts explained that rarity isn't just about age, it's about accidents, mystery, and survival. Only a handful of these bronze-struck 2017 D pennies are believed to exist. And now, the hunt is on. Coin collectors across America are tearing through their rolls of pennies, scanning for that elusive glow of bronze instead of zinc. Some are even finding subtle double dies, where the date, or the word, Liberty, appears slightly doubled, making their coins worth thousands. But this story goes deeper. There are whispers among numismatists of a few 2017 D pennies with even stranger flaws: off-center strikes, weak edges, or missing mint marks entirely. If verified, these could fetch tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars more. One collector described holding a 2017 D penny that looked completely normal, until he noticed the edges were slightly beveled, a sign it might have been struck twice. He sent it for grading, and the verdict shocked him: an authentic double-strike mint error, worth over $45,000. Just imagine what the next discovery could bring. Most people throw these pennies away. They sit in jars, drawers, glove compartments, little copper-colored miracles hidden in plain sight. Every day, someone spends one without realizing what they just lost. 2017, with a clear D mint mark beneath it. Examine Lincoln's face closely. If you notice any doubling on the eye, nose, or mouth, that could mean you're holding a double die error. Flip the coin and check the reverse. Look for any signs of doubling in the Lincoln memorial lines, or any unusual coloration that hints at bronze instead of zinc. A true bronze 2017 D penny will have a deeper, richer tone. When dropped, it even sounds different, a crisp, bell-like ring instead of the dull thud of zinc. That's one of the easiest ways to tell. But what makes this story unforgettable isn't just the rarity. It's the dream behind it. The idea that a simple penny, something we overlook every day, could hold the power to change a life. That's why collectors are obsessed. Because the next $1 million coin isn't hiding in a museum. It's hiding in someone's pocket, and maybe that someone is you. Millions of 2017 D pennies were minted, but only a handful escaped with errors that make them extraordinary. A few misstruck coins, a few old planchets fed by mistake into modern machines, and just like that, a new legend was born. Even the mint workers couldn't believe it when the story broke. How could an old bronze planchet, something phased out in the early 1980s, find its way back into a 2017 strike? Was it a mix-up, or did a forgotten bin of blanks somehow survive for decades? No one knows for sure. But that mystery is exactly what fuels collectors' passion. People have spent their whole lives searching for coins like this, and most never find one. But the few who do, they find not just money, but a story that will be told for generations. So before you toss that penny aside, take a closer look. Shine a light on it. Check for the D mint mark. Feel its weight. Listen to its tone. You might just be holding a $1 million treasure without even realizing it. But days later, it sold for nearly $1.5 million. It's the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so ordinary, yet so mysterious, that collectors can't stop talking about it. You've probably held one of these in your hand hundreds of times without realizing you might have been holding a small fortune. The story begins in the late 1980s, when the U.S. Mint was running at full speed, producing billions of Lincoln cents. Most were perfect, routine, and forgettable. But one small batch from Philadelphia would carry a mistake so subtle that even seasoned collectors missed it for decades. The 1988 no-mint mark penny looks normal at first glance, Lincoln on one side, the Lincoln Memorial on the other. But hidden within the tiny details of this design lies the secret that transformed a simple penny into a $1 million miracle. A collector in Illinois was sorting through an old jar of change he'd saved since childhood. He noticed something strange about one penny. The D mint mark was missing. But that wasn't the shocking part. When he looked closer at the lettering under Lincoln's portrait, something didn't match. The font style, the shape of the designer's initials, and the spacing seemed off. He sent it to a grading service, and that's when experts confirmed what few believed possible. This wasn't just a missing mint mark. This was a transitional error, a blending of dies from two different years, an accident that should never have left the mint. Word spread like wildfire through coin forums and collector clubs. Dealers were stunned. Some called it the discovery of the decade. Others dismissed it as an illusion, until more examples surfaced. The 1988 no-mint mark penny wasn't supposed to have the reverse design of the following year, 1989, but it did. Somehow, a few of the older 1988 obverse dies were paired with the new 1989 reverse design, creating a rare hybrid that almost no one noticed. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. One of these rare 1988 pennies appeared at auction, authenticated by PCGS, and the bidding war was fierce. Within minutes, the price climbed past expectations, $100,000, then $250,000, then $500,000. When the hammer finally fell, collectors couldn't believe their eyes. The coin sold for just under $1.4 million. A penny. Just 1 cent, turned into a life-changing treasure. Since that day, collectors across the country have been checking every 1988 penny they can find. Dealers are scouring estate sales, old coin rolls, and even pocket change in hopes of uncovering another hidden gem. What makes this coin truly thrilling isn't just its rarity, it's the idea that it could still be out there. Because experts believe only a handful were ever made, and fewer still have been found. That means one could still be sitting unnoticed, in a jar, a drawer, or a forgotten coin collection. But how can you tell if you've found the real deal? It's all in the details, and this is where it gets exciting. Take any 1988 penny and look closely at the initials under the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. On normal 1988 cents, the designer's initials, FG, for Frank Gasparo, are sharp and well-defined, with the G having a distinct tail. But on the rare transitional 1988 no-mint mark error, the initials appear slightly different, matching the style used on 1989 pennies. The spacing, the font, even the curvature of the letters reveal the truth. That's your clue, a microscopic difference worth $1 million. Collectors who've seen one in person describe it as surreal. Holding it feels like holding history, a mix of precision and imperfection that changed everything. Coin grading companies have since listed it among the most sought-after transitional errors ever discovered. And because of its near-perfect preservation and shocking backstory, its value continues to climb. Some experts believe if another example in mint condition appears, it could break auction records again. One man's pocket change became a fortune because he paid attention to what most people ignore. That's the magic of coin collecting, where patience, curiosity, and luck can turn a single cent into something truly extraordinary. Every 1988 penny you check could be another hidden treasure waiting to be found. Imagine opening an old jar of coins, brushing off a few decades of dust, and spotting that tiny, telltale detail, the wrong designer's initials, the missing mint mark, the clue that your penny isn't like the others. Imagine what that moment would feel like, realizing that the coin in your hand could change your life forever. So before you spend your next handful of change, take a closer look. Because the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just another coin, it's a mystery born from the mint's own machines, a piece of history that turned ordinary metal into legend. Collectors are still searching, stories are still surfacing, and the thrill of discovery keeps growing. Check your pennies, every single one, because the next time you hear of $1 million penny, it might be your own. But when a sharp-eyed collector looked twice, he realized it was worth more than $1 million. We're talking about the 1990 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so rare, so mysterious, that it's rewriting what collectors thought they knew about modern cents. At first glance, it looks ordinary. Just another brown penny with Lincoln's familiar face. But hidden beneath its worn copper surface is a story of mistake, mystery, and pure luck, a story that could turn pocket change into $1 million miracle. It all started in 1990, a year when the U.S. Mint was shifting designs and equipment, trying to perfect the Lincoln Memorial cent pennies from that year were supposed to bear a small letter under the date, either a P for Philadelphia, a D for Denver, or an S for San Francisco proof coins. But somehow, an extremely small batch left the mint completely missing that mint mark. No P, no D, nothing. Just a smooth space below the date. At first, no one noticed. The coins circulated quietly, passing from hand to hand for years. Until one day, a collector inspecting a 1990 penny under magnification realized something strange. His coin had no mint mark. The odds of finding one like it were nearly impossible. When experts confirmed it wasn't worn away, but actually struck that way, the coin world went silent. And then, the headlines exploded. A 1990 no-mint mark Lincoln penny sold at auction for tens of thousands of dollars. But that was just the beginning. As word spread, more collectors started scouring their change jars, hoping to uncover one of the few surviving examples. Today, high-grade versions of this coin have been valued at up to $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.5 million for a single penny most people would overlook. The secret lies in the tiny details most eyes never notice. During minting, Philadelphia coins were supposed to have the P mint mark by 1990, but for reasons still debated, a limited number of dies were created without it. Some experts believe these coins were part of a test run or an accidental use of an unfinished die. Whatever the reason, the mistake created one of the rarest modern Lincoln pennies in existence. Dealers were shocked. Collectors were desperate. Phone lines at coin shows lit up as people compared photos, searching for that telltale smooth space under the date. One dealer even called it the ghost mint penny, because it seemed to appear out of nowhere, then vanish into private collections. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Not all 1990 no-mint mark pennies are valuable. Counterfeits and altered coins have flooded the market. Some people tried to remove mint marks from regular coins, hoping to cash in on the craze. But trained experts can spot the difference in seconds. Real no-mint mark 1990 pennies have crisp, original surfaces and perfectly struck details around the date. If the area where the mint mark should be looks scratched, smooth, or uneven, it's fake. Still, for those who find a genuine one, the reward can be life-changing. Imagine fishing through a jar of old change, and there it is, a smooth space where a P or D should be. You hold it up to the light, your heart pounding, realizing you might be looking at a coin worth $1 million. And here's the part that shocks even veteran collectors. Some of these rare 1990 pennies have been discovered in everyday circulation, even decades later. Grocery stores, parking meters, coin rolls from the bank, all places where these elusive treasures might still hide. Every single one found reignites hope that there are more out there, quietly waiting to be discovered. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. When a pristine, uncirculated example graded by PCGS hit the auction block, bidding went wild. Collectors from across the country fought for ownership, and when the final hammer fell, the price soared, a six-figure sale that made headlines and cemented this penny's place among America's rarest coins. Since then, whispers of even higher offers have surfaced. Private sales, hidden negotiations, collectors offering unbelievable sums just to own one. Some say a near-perfect specimen could easily fetch over $1.5 million today if it ever hit the open market again. Grab a magnifying glass and look at any 1990 Lincoln pennies you own. Focus under the date, right next to Lincoln's chest. If there's no mint mark at all, and the area looks completely smooth, you could be staring at something extraordinary. Check the coin's surface. No signs of tampering, no scratches where the mint mark should be. A genuine 1990 no mint mark penny will have strong details on Lincoln's hair and beard, a clear Liberty, and sharp lettering on "In God We Trust." If you think you've found one, never clean it, never polish it, and never rush to sell it. Have it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A single verification could change your life forever. One man's pocket change became a six-figure payday because he looked closely enough. Another collector's discovery sent shockwaves through the entire hobby. And right now, your next coin roll hunt could uncover the next $1 million miracle. So before you toss that penny aside, take a closer look. The 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that even in today's world, hidden treasures still exist, sometimes smaller than a dime, but worth more than a dream.